If you're in the mood to, you could go on and watch for chat. Help keep me up in chat.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. It is TushyGalore, and I'm waiting for you to introduce yourself.
John Miller.
Well, you don't have to say your last name, but that's fine.
That's fine.
Y'all just start looking through the list of John Millers in this country. Just start at the top, and eventually you'll find them, but it's going to take you a while. I hear myself.
Sorry.
It's okay. A little bit of a lag there. My hair has gotten so long, and it is. I feel very jungle girl. I wish I could get this behind me a little better. My beautiful backdrop. Look at my jungle girl hair. I need a necklace with made out of little teeth.
You look quite savage this evening.
I need my red lipstick on. Hey, I can fix that. Hi, everybody. Can you see John's belly right now? I bet you can't. I've got my new light. It is a million times better than that shit I got at Walmart. Do not get the Walmart one or any ring light that shows the tripod as, for one thing, watch the height issue, because I'm lazy and don't always do the math at all or correctly or at all on how many feet would that be in inches and or centimeters or whatever. So yeah, pay attention to that. And also, it was most tripods worth anything are the kind that the leg like there's a little something you flip or unscrew, and then the leg will extend a little bit. You screw it in place where you want it. And then there'll be another one that comes out, and another one, and another one, so you can make it really tall, right?
Like a Russian doll.
A Russian doll. All any height you want, up to a point. Um, but the one from Walmart, and I'm sorry, let's see, wait a minute. I can tell you right now what brand it was. Bower. 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 And for one thing, you see how the tripod part is only down at the bottom? Normally, in a good tripod, this would be more like up here, and then from this out would come the telescope legs, right? That would just get longer and longer. But no, this is on the bottom. And what happens, there's no way to screw this in or tighten it except for to give it a little twist. Just the littlest little twist, and that kind of secures it. But if you bump it even a little bit, it will go boom and shorten suddenly. Even worse, if you've got the ring light part tilted, because they do make it where you can tilt it to a what is that, a 45-degree angle horizontal. You can make it horizontal and anything in between, And when you do that, the slightest little wisp of a cat's tail, or, just think about wind, and it tips over. And what really sucks is when you put your phone in it and you tip this down, or just put your phone in it at all. The weight from it pulls this sucker over, and then it lands on your screen. And it happened once, and I said, no, thank you. I think I'm done with this one. And it is all packed up and ready to go back to Walmart tomorrow and get my lousy little $30 back. I had to put about another 15 in on it to get this better one, but it is definitely better. Would you miss it if your light was out, John?
Nope.
I'm still kind of playing with lighting and trying to see what reads best. That's kind of a little too spooky. Ooh. This one is at its lowest. It is a couple of inches bigger around. than my other two, the one that just stopped working and then the Walmart one that wouldn't stay upright. This one has a proper tripod, and it's heavier metal, and it's got legs that lock in place. It's awesome. And I don't remember the brand name of this. I'm looking for the box, but I think it's in the other room. And I don't think it said the name of the thing either. Let's see. Okay, I am going to, looks like there's some viewers. Hi, viewers. I'm TushyGalore, but y'all probably already know that. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. It's a little dark spot on the sun today. Look at me, John.
I know, you're blindingly luminescent.
Well, I do look like the moon, as we know.
Happy toddler face.
One of my cousins, she married a man who was extremely large. He was very, very tall, and he was kind of big around, but mostly he was just very, very tall and just a big guy. And he has some brain damage from when he was a child. I think he ran a real high fever, and and he was not quite the same since, but he was real funny and sweet. And we were at some sort of a family gathering, and I came down out of the hotel to find everyone else gathered around waiting on me because we were going to dinner. And they started looking at me and laughing, and somebody pointed up to the moon. It was a full moon, and the dude started singing Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. And they were saying that the moon looked like my face. And it did kind of appear to have eyes and a mouth, and I don't know, it was strange and very funny. And I still think of that occasionally. Hello to my viewers. I need to get on with it, I guess. The title of this video will be something about Goodwill hauling, I think is what I called it. My mother and I went to the Goodwill today because we both have been sick and we're starting to feel a little bit better. And we decided to go do our usual thing, which is to hit this mediocre Chinese buffet that's near the Goodwill. Man, look at me. You can see a lot of green in my hair now. It's faded to a point where it's pretty obvious. And we went to Goodwill first and then went and ate our mediocre food. Somebody took some cookies from the restaurant because they were too full for dessert and was upset about that. Not me. Would you like a cookie, dear?
Yes.
I brought them home for you.
Oh.
And for me. Don't eat my last almond cookie.
I didn't.
These are the Bizom. I do love these. They're very light and crispy. Oh, I look like me from the old days. The overexposure makes me look very young. And the cookies make me look very happy. I love my hair like this. I wish I could have it like this every day. Okay, I know I'm weird. Whatever. Goodwill. I got this. My mother actually found this. And I know you can't tell much about it. It's leopard print, which is my signature, it seems. I have like 2 things leopard print in my home. And now everybody thinks of leopard print with me. So they buy me leopard print stuff. I buy myself leopard print stuff. I have a leopard print cane, leopard print purse. I'm just camping it up. But this is long and flowy. I can't show you. I'll try to take a picture or something later. Maybe. And I got a scarf. I just saw hanging up and I hoped it was a skirt. But instead it was a scarf and I was wearing... Oh. Have you seen my son Jesus? He's quite the sprightly young fellow. He keeps running off. Goes missing, doesn't leave a note, doesn't call, Doesn't email.
Rotten child.
And then we hear he's been down in the temples, miles from home, annoying the adults, sassing off, correcting people, being a pain in the ass down at the temple. A rotten kid. He probably needed a spanking for that one. This is rather pretty. I might know. I look quite affected. Look at it sticking out like I got bubble butt on the back of my head. Okay, so it looked pretty.
Just the way it's made.
It looked really pretty with my black shirt I was wearing. That's a big, full thing with very tight black sleeves and. I don't know, y'all. I'm obsessed with scarves. I own way too many scarves, but I don't wear them that much anymore. It's just that I can go to thrift stores and buy something that's beautiful fabric, like a gorgeous color and something exotic. I like Indian sort of stuff. And I can wear something stupid and boring and put this with it and have people stopping me. I had one day, I don't understand it. I really don't. We went out, go to a couple of places, run some errands. And John, would you like to tell them?
About what?
So we go to one place. We're standing in line. I just spit my tea all over myself. And I was in my wheelchair that day. Maybe people felt sorry for me, or they're just not used to seeing a hot girl in a wheelchair. But I don't even remember what I was wearing. I remember a little red beret was involved. And I had my nails did, unlike now. Look, it just gets worse every day.
You had your Panama on.
This serape thing that's very colorful. It's from Panama, made out of llama or some
alpaca.
German Shepherd. Get out of my cookies! I'll kill that. Your cat's going down.
Now.
This cat's food obsessed, and he will try to eat anything. And this last almond cookie is mine. I'm going to wrap it up and put it in a drawer and shut the drawer. Because cats are determined. And
it's not just
so this woman gets out of line and comes up to me. And what does she say? Like, she says, your nails are great. You want to see my nails? And I'm kind of shy in a lot of ways, but some days I'm just popping. And to a stranger, I'm like, you like them? I did them myself. And she gets back in line and she's showing her friends that are with her. She's like, look at her nails. So that was all fine and good. And then a few minutes later, another woman jumps out of line and comes back. And what does she say?
I love your outfit and your nails are beautiful.
I love your outfit, your nails are beautiful, you're so cute.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And then we went to another place, a whole other building, a whole other place. And the reception girl says, I gotta tell you, just gotta tell you, I love everything about you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. She says, I love your, what did she say? I love your outfit. I love your makeup. I love your aura. I just love everything about you. I was waiting for the ring, you know? Shit. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing that day, but I wish I could repeat it on a daily basis because that was pretty cool. So, at the Goodwill, I got something for my stepdaughter. She is so gorgeous. She loves glamour. And I did too, especially at that age, but I couldn't find anything to fit me because I was a fat little girl, not very fat, but back then there wasn't anything for fat little girls. So I found this, I forget. My mother told me the correct word for it. I keep calling it a stole. But I mean, look at that gorgeous,
shrug, isn't it?
A shrug. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a shrug. It's got this gorgeous satin lining, and this beautiful little brooch, which I think is can actually be removed. It feels like maybe it has a pin in the back. And she's 11, and this will be perfect for her because this is her. Of course, she's also kind of tomboyish, but she's like the perfect combination of both. And so I sent a picture of it to her mother, and she loved it, and she put my stepdaughter on the phone. Oh, something happened there. Put my stepdaughter to text me, and she was like, "Oh, I love it so much. Thank you for buying it for me." So I bought it specifically thinking she could wear it to the daddy-daughter dance, which is coming up soon. And those two are adorable. I've never actually attended one of the dances, but I always get pictures. John will take pictures and send them to me as the evening progresses. And she always just looks like a little movie starlet. And John always looks quite handsome, as you can imagine. And that should be my thumbnail. It's mine. That's enough. Don't screen enough. All right, I got a book, In Search of Ancient Mysteries. I probably have already read this book. I may even have it on one of my shelves. Y'all would love to hang around my living room. I've got old record albums. I've got about 1,000,000 movies. I've got tons of paranormal books and UFO books. I've got a whole corner shelf. It's completely dedicated to UFO books. I was going to say except for the little wooden nativities that have just been stored on the bottom shelf of it. But that's perfect because the nativity story is one of UFOs and and insemination and such, alien insemination and half-breed alien human hybrid named Jesus. And I always love these books, and there's always these really terrible black and white pictures in the middle that, yeah. I used to read these all the time when I was a kid. These come out in the 70s. And I imagine I will enjoy that immensely. And John had told me this was good. John and I were both big Stephen King fans in the 70s and 80s. He continued to be. There was a point.
I still am.
Right. I mean, I still love him, but there was a point where I stopped reading the new stuff. I think it was when he veered away from the horror genre, and started doing like the gunslinger stuff. And I just kind of lost interest. He got that head injury, and just it wasn't the same. And then I heard he wasn't even writing his own books, that he had a team of people that would be simultaneously working on several books, and that's how I pumped them out. It's sort of almost a factory of Stephen King type writers, which I guess that shouldn't matter to me. A good story is a good story, but I just, I don't know, I lost interest at that point. But John continued to read them, didn't you?
Mr. Mercedes is a good start.
I don't know anything about that one, so it'll be all new to me. But this was one that he had told me was really good. I got it for like $2 from the Goodwill.
It ties in with the Dark Terror series.
Do I need to read those first?
You should have read them already.
I know. I am a bad, bad girl.
I'll go down and get them from Lakin's house.
Okay. That'll work. That's his daughter. Hi, Lakin, if you're watching. I don't know why I'm looking on the wrong end of the phone, but I always do that, so hi. Hearts in Atlantis is this one.
Logan would like that.
Logan sounds like a cool dude. He needs to be more friendly and come visit. So now I get to read it. It is hardback, which in theory I love that. But I know now, as severe as my fibromyalgia is, I probably am going to have trouble holding it. And holding it up. I guess I can always prop on my chest and kind of... Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And I got a game. I got a new game to add to the shelf. I just moved a bookshelf into the dining room, trying to switch that room up and make it a little more elegant and more grown up, and a nice place to bring people for a piece of pie or to smoke a pipe or whatever. And I have a lot of old games, and I put them in there, and amongst them is Laverne and Shirley, which I think is my sister's. I wish she'd just give it to me, but she lets me have uh, custody of it. I don't think the Happy Days game was mine. I think that was my Aunt Rosie's, and she took it from Grandpa's house when he passed. But I have no. Is my Starsky and Hutch in there? I think my Starsky and Hutch may have gotten ruined, but there's Hardy Boys and Solid Gold. Do you remember that? With the dancers, really skinny dancers. And so this will go quite well with it, I think. Da, 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 da. I can't remember how their theme song went. Oh, well, of course. Thank you for being a friend. Just thinking of the incidental music between scenes. But I'm either too high or not high enough. And it was something I noticed when I saw the tag, that it had been a Dollar General game. And I've gotten some of their stuff before, including some of their Mr. Potato Heads and some of their neat little games. You get them for cheap. It's $5. And I mean, it's not real exciting, but I looked it up on Amazon and it had good ratings. Like, people thought it was fun. So there is one die in here, and it is utterly and completely blank. Like a sugar cube, it is blank. Is anybody saying anything, John? Y'all can say hi if you want to, because John is watching the room, I think.
Oh, nobody's been talking.
Oh, wait. Hey, I think I've solved the mystery. There's some little stickers, and I bet they go on the die, but they look really big. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm fairly smart monkey. And I'll get John to help me. And there are all these cards. I don't know. They probably need to be separated, and I'm sure they do different things. Dorothy Spornak, born in New York on a pinochle table at McSorley's bar, works as a high school substitute teacher. There she is. I guess, I don't know, one side just has her picture. Somebody's saying something. I can't see it. I can see the message come up, but I can't read a word of it. But I know John's watching. Right, John?
Yes.
Gee, you look terrible for your age, says Rose.
Is it cold in Arkansas right now? Any snow?
It is cold as a booger bear's behind tonight. And I did not dress appropriately, and I was squealing all the way from the Goodwill to the car. And John said he was up north of here by about 25 miles, and he said it was sleeting when he left work. So I don't know what it's like at this very moment. Oh, let's see. Rose says, maybe I can show you the picture while I read you the quote. This place makes me want to run out and get pregnant. Not sure what that meant. I think it's not as funny out of context, perhaps. Rose again says, I like these. It's like trading cards. I'll be happy to go anywhere they don't spit on Americans. Oh, she looks very serious, too. That must have been a heartwarming episode. A very special episode of the Golden Girls. Yeah, these cards are confusing. I think they probably need to be separated. And I think it'll be a kick. I've been wanting to watch more of them anyhow, because I have a business idea that I'm working on. And one of the business projects is going to include the Golden Girls, something that's Golden Girls themed. So I've been saying that, and I mean, they're just always funny. They just always are.
Betty White.
Betty White, all of them. My God, Ma, and truly, B. Arthur, her and Ma. I can't remember the woman. Estelle Getty. Their chemistry was something special. I think that's all the stuff I got from Goodwill. I didn't get a whole lot, but that's fine. I don't need a whole lot. I went there looking for some, I don't know, some towels, hand towels for the bathroom and things like that, but I don't want anything that looks like it's had much use. Since I don't know those people, I may end up just buying those things new. But oh, hold on. Hold on. What did I do with it? Oh God, it's under my leg. It's that time. People,
Mm-mm.
John, you want some more or is it all me?
I probably shouldn't do that on camera.
Okay, well, I'm going to. And this, I showed this in my last video, but I'm going to show it again for those of you who missed it. This is something that I concocted to help conserve any sort of concentrates that I'm using. Anything that's vaporizing and not lighting something on fire and smoking it. I tend to use this. I mean, this is just a Dollar General bag. I like them because they're real soft and flexible and hold quite a bit. Um, Somebody's saying something, John. Would you check? Or are you too sleepy? I see. Hi, Tushy. That was all I could read.
Um,
Hi. John's gonna check it for me because he's nice that
Not
way.
Tushy. The stream is full on retro Tushy. Leopard print, the Goodwill haul, UFOs. All it's missing is Black Cat Mambo
Oh, well,
intro. Black Cat Mambo intro.
oh, I was gonna say if you want Black Cat Mambo himself, I could go get him out, but I'd have to move the light. I have him, I still have Mambo. I don't know if I've mentioned that in any videos yet, but okay, bag, and this is a hair DG jig for ponytails, but you can use some duct tape, you can use rubber band, whatever. This happens to be a silicone straw. It's always something rather kind of obscene about yeah. This is a real big one. I recommend whether you use a plastic straw that you've picked up at the Walmarts, or whether you get one of these, whatever. These are shake straws and they're bigger around. It's almost more like a McDonald's straw.
Like a Bobo straw for bubble tea.
Yeah. Uh, Boba. Boba?
I don't know.
We're just,
I'm just doing malarkey.
maybe I have already had a dab. It could be. I
Two.
love how this light makes me look because I do look like Tushy of 2007. 2006 maybe even. It's a nice light. I'm really glad I spent the extra like $15 or whatever to get. I don't know why I look around. There's nothing in here that has the brand name on it. If I can, I will try to remember to put up a link. See, I need to get an Amazon affiliate thing so I can put up links like that. And then if one of you purchases one, I get a couple pennies off of it. And those pennies will eventually add up to $1. And I will take it to Dollar Tree and buy some glitter. And it's a win-win-win. Should have gone to
Wow,
Dollar.
you still have him?
I do still have him. Uh, I have been judged rather harshly for still having him.
I'm, I'm sorry, by people whose opinion about it is ridiculous.
I
You
had,
know I'm telling the truth.
I know he is telling the truth, but blow that old stale stuff out. I hope it's not too hot. It's too hot. It makes me choke and cough and fart, and it's
And the
not
video will
attractive.
end.
But then it really is retro Tushy. She coughs and farts, and there's tropical leaves and leopard print. And
Tushy's getting a groove back. That's the Dodo Schwudo.
My lung capacity is not great. Sometimes it's awful. And when I make a little small pitiful bag, well, that's not bad though. It's not a bad one. I'll sing little lungs in a great big world.
Yeah.
Usually the only one I crack up with that is Tushy. I still have some of my cold left.
Laugh at it.
Mm,
I want. Here, let me have that.
I like having you back there. It's neat. What? What? Oh,
No, not the back.
what?
The
Oh,
shooter.
we go. We
Shooter and the scooter.
we got. We get so cracked up at I can't think of her name now, Ms.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, but the character.
Oh yeah. You
When
mean
Kate
when she's
McKinnon's
Daffy Ducking it out
what
there?
the Kate McKinnon character where she and those other two all get like abducted by aliens or whatever. And they have beautiful spiritual experiences and she always ends up losing her pants and
Getting her boobs slapped around.
getting her knockers batted around.
Gently batting them back and forth.
Then she has to show by reaching over. She is. I might leave John for Kate McKinnon. I have such a crush on her. I think she is incredible. Anybody who can make me laugh like she does, I'm just like, marry me. What? What do you want? Oh, I thought you were going to do that on cam.
I'm not. I'm gonna lay back here and you're gonna scoot over a little bit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see a cloud of vapor and they don't know where that came from.
I'm just being insinuated. It's a little movie magic. So,
I've already been blowing vape behind you.
so because we get cracked up by her saying whatever the line is about, so had my tutor and my cooter all exposed. We laugh at that.
She says a bunch of stuff about it. It's
We should
hilarious.
write them down. I sat with some friend recently, somebody in the family, and I think me and my sister and my mom, and as we were thinking them up, we'd shout them out. It was just like, it's the best. Kate McKinnon's wife is an absolute knockout, or her girlfriend, or whatever. I don't have a hope, but it's fun to dream. I can't imagine the fun. She's probably one of those comedians that's just a surly, angry, messed up bastard at home.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I'm not picking. I swear it. I swear it. I can still do this. Snort.
Burns.
I need to get them on both sides so I can totally. It does burn if you do it too hot, I'm telling you. Okay, I feel like I owe you guys because I've made several videos where I've said, I'll be back later and tell you paranormal story. Then I don't. Because now I've lost my list. But it's got to be right around here and I will find it again.
Mausoleum.
I've already told them about that. I made a whole video and I put up a video where I went back and apologized, but only like 35 people watched it. It was dark, but it has its moments of illumination. And to me, when I watch it, and when I was there, it was eerie because John would suddenly shine his light from his phone and it's like, there's an empty crypt in the darkness in this country cemetery. It's really weird. But I'm glad I did it because they left me alone after that. It's a very old cemetery and it has a section, it has a Babyland section, and that's an old-fashioned thing to do. There's actually like a little metal fence and it says Babyland
I
on
think they
it.
use special prayers on that. It is a Catholic cemetery.
Oh, I didn't realize it was Catholic cemetery.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
I think they do a special sanctity on it
Oh,
to protect the babies.
learn something new every day.
I could be wrong.
You could be right.
Catholics are big on stuff like that.
I think it's nice.
I do too.
It's sort of eerie, but sort of sweet. I'd like to go back. I don't. I'm ghoulish. Let's just face it. I am ghoulish.
I need to watch that crypt again now.
I would like to go back to that mausoleum. I've been thinking a lot about it this week or over the last week. I would like to go back there and like burn some incense and say sort of my own little prayer blessing kind of thing and try to open a portal so that the ones that don't want to be there can escape and maybe bind any of them that are being nasty.
You better bring a cross this time.
I will bring a cross and a crystal and my Florida water, and I will
Nice
have some
chocolate.
prayers. I will have some prayers or prayer cards with me to say a nice prayer while I'm there and just be as positive and bring as much light and love and blessings into that space as possible. And you'd be surprised what that can do. Whoever it was responded really well to my saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I created a spiritual faux pas while I was here. And they seemed to sort of be like, yeah, okay. That's cool. We're good. That was hideous. So let me tell you another one, and then I will cut this off. My videos have been ridiculously long lately. Okay, so I was thinking about this one also this week, and I contacted my ex-husband and asked him if he remembered it, and he said he did, but he hadn't thought about it in a long time, and he had me refresh his memory on a few points, and then as I would say it to him, he would say, oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't remember exactly what year it was. It was probably 1998, 99, 2000 in that area. So we were living here in Fayetteville, Arkansas at the time. And we were about to go. I think the very next morning we were gonna head off on a car trip and go back to Alabama so he could visit his family. And I said, well, I'm gonna need some magazines to read. And at that time, it's no longer our library. It's an office building or something now. But our library at the time was pretty near to the town square. It's about, I don't know, a block away. Not even that. It's just, yeah, it's kind of catty corner to the town square. And we went around the back because there's the book depository there. There was. And people would often bring magazines and sometimes old paperback books. Somebody saying something?
Yeah.
And things. I
Hi,
did.
Tushy, I love the hair.
Thank you.
And Teofane said, or Teofane,
Yeah.
hope you're both avoiding all this nasty flu. And the Dodo Schwudos, why would they judge you for having him? And I told him, I put it
Oh,
in the chat. We had his skeleton cleaned in the beetle lab at the university.
see, I'm so bad about starting a little tale and then I go, oh, wait, a squirrel.
Yeah. Squirrel!
And I run off and sorry about that. Yeah, I had in my mind for years and years and years that I did not want to put him in the ground. I wanted his bones. For one thing, in hoodoo and voodoo, the bones of a black cat are very, very magical. They're very powerful. And I would never take his bones and use them, as something where you had to crush them up. But I would put one of his bones in a mojo bag. Um,
So you keep
but
saying.
I wanted him close. I wanted my baby close to me. I didn't want him in the ground somewhere 25 miles away from me. Um, and I had thought of, and looked up how deflesh something. And one was put it in a burlap bag and bury it for 6 months and then dig it back up. And I thought maybe I'd do that, but it's so grim. That's so ghoulish, like to be out there and have to dig him up again. I just didn't know if I could. And I could not do a Beatrix Potter and boil him in a huge pot on my stove. Because she used to do that. You go look at Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, and Peter Rabbit. And the way she learned to draw those animals so well, she had lots and lots of pets. And when they would pass away of their natural causes, she'd throw them in this giant pot she had and boil them in the kitchen until she could pick everything off the bones. And she would articulate the skeletons, and that's what she would use to draw. So don't look down on me. Um, but we
That's
a,
crazy.
a young lady lived in the building next to us. John had met her because he used to smoke and he'd hang around outside and he would get to know everybody. And she was going to the university, and as part of her studies, they had some beetles that were the kind of beetles that eat flesh. And they were putting mice in, and I think it was for some forensics thing. And she had kind of said, like, if you ever want anything put in. And did we meet her before Mambo died? We
Yes.
did, right? We met her before Mambo died, and I knew it was kind of at the end for him. And
I talked to her before that, though. Before he died, I
yeah,
set it up.
yeah, he did. I don't know exactly how that all came together, but I knew in my heart that there was going to be a way presented to me. And so when this young girl showed up in our lives, and she was more than happy to do it. So when he passed, I put him in the freezer for a little bit until she came back from vacation, and she took care of it for us, and went and found a very nice little tiny box and put first his skull. She brought me his skull first, and she was afraid I was going to cry and freak out when I saw it, but I was happy to see him and his little funny little fang, and I could see where his jaw had been broken. That's what caused the snaggle tooth. And I could see where he had cancer. And she was able to show me that this is cancer and here's cancer stuff and horrible arthritis and all this stuff. And as more of his bones came in, I could see that he must have, I knew he was in incredible pain, but I could see why he was. And it was interesting to me to see what was going on inside of him. And his spirit definitely lingers here with us, and the other cats know it, and they go over and look at his box and hang out with it sometimes. So anyway, the story, my UFO story, I have not forgotten. So we went around behind the building, and people stack their magazines and stuff out there, and was looking through magazines and standing back there with him. The library was closed, it was dark. I don't remember what time, maybe 10 or 11 at night. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw like all these colored lights, right? And I looked up, and it was in the direction of the Fayetteville Town Square. Up in the air, there was this enormous thing. Like, I can't even tell you what the shape was. It was just this freaking enormous thing coming out of the sky straight down towards the ground. It had different colors and sizes of lights all over it. Like, it didn't make sense to me, the placement of the lights, the color of the lights. And it happened really fast. Like, it was just this, didn't have time to get out a camera or to scream or to do anything. And I don't remember if I said his name or what, but I got his attention. Here this thing came. Wow, like it was going to crash into the town square. And the only thing that made any sense to me is that it was some kind of gigantic airplane that was absolutely falling out of the sky like a rock. And as we both braced ourselves for it to hit and for there to be a huge explosion, and we both thought we were probably about to die, we grabbed each other like something out of a cartoon and just grabbed each other and watched it. And just as it should have hit the ground, gone. Gone. Poof. And we just stood there just shaking and saying, what did we just see? What the hell was that? What was that? And we drove down to the square. Everything was fine, and we went home and locked our doors and were petrified for the rest of the night. So, that was really, really strange. And I've held a lot of these stories in for a long time because they're so weird. But I'm very critical and very skeptical. And I tried and tried and tried to make sense out of that. I still do all these years later. And I can't make sense out of it. And he can't either. And we know we saw it. We know we did. But I see my name Tushy, and that's all I can see. Hey, Tushy.
Hey Tushy, I have to say, I just adore you. I've been keeping up with your videos since I was 19 and living in my first apartment all by my lonesome. I'm
Aw.
now 31, and you're still amazing.
Well, thank you. And who was that?
Amanda Dore,
Yeah, how's that
408
spelled? Amanda Durrett.
AM.
I know how
Uh,
Amanda's spelled. What?
Amanda, and then it's RAE, Amanda Ray,
Mm-hmm.
408.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. That's so cool to me when somebody says something like that. There's another young woman. I don't remember what her name was on here, but when she was in college, about the same age you were, she ran across me. I don't know what she was looking up, but she thought I was fun. And through that, she had a kid and was raising the kid and got her masseuse license, I guess. And hi, Britt. I don't think she watches my videos anymore, but just in case. I keep up with her now on other social media platforms. But then online, she met this guy that lived in Wales. He's very cute, and he come visit her. And finally, she moved, and she became a Brit, became a British citizen. Brit's a Brit. And it's just been crazy and fun watching her. Now she's like got all these stepkids, I guess, and lives in this house in Wales, and just it's been fun. And she says, I can't believe it. I've been watching you since I was in college, since I was 18 or whatever it was. And that's crazy. And now y'all are old like me. Well, not yet. You'll get there though. So, anything else? I'm looking around me to. Oh, oh, I know one other thing, and then I'll let you go. Um, okay, if any of you are into nail stuff, you may have seen nails that are done with these like really shiny iridescent hot rod flames, and I love them. And I got a really good deal on a bunch of them, and I've got a whole bunch of them now. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's just overlit. I've got to work with it and figure out how to. You see, it appears light blue, but then it switches to purple, and they're just little tiny flames, and they just peel off, and they're very thin. And I've got them in every color you can think of, and they're all either iridescent or hollow. I think there's just a plain metallic gold and a metallic yellow, or no, gold and silver. And they're so neat, and I'm excited. And I may make a video. I'll try to keep it shorter than my other nail videos, but make a video just doing one finger. Just I'll build it, and then we'll do the flames and see how they look. And that's it. I am out of here. I love you guys. I can't believe there's 7 people. Yay! I feel like my channel is starting to come back to life again. Don't forget to give her one of those, and kick that subscribe button, punch it right in the cooter, and do all that good stuff for me. I would love to get my subscription numbers back up to 2,000 so that I don't feel. Thank you. I see a will do. I can't tell who it's from, but.
the, the Dodo Shweedo.
Oh, okay. Cool. I love you guys. I seriously do. I am.
And I apologize if I'm getting that wrong.
Oh, he's doing the best he can. I appreciate your help, John. I honestly do. Ooh, my phone's getting hot. Crud. Okay. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.